The Cleveland Browns have used 28 different starting quarterbacks since 1999, and since the 2008 draft, they have had 8 top 10 draft picks. Not one of them is used on a quarterback. This draft, they get the chance to fix that situation and fill a long-term need. The decision comes down to 2 players primarily, Josh Allen of Wyoming, the guy with the big arm who has a lot of potential, and Sam Darnold of USC, who has a very strong overall game. When you have the first pick in the draft, you have to take the surest thing. In this case, it's Darnold, who has mobility, the ability to get the ball down the field, and skill to have with touch. With the first pick in the NFL Nation mock draft, the Cleveland Browns select Sam Darnold, quarterback, USC.
Pat, thank you. Of course, the Browns expected to take a quarterback. The only question right now remaining, which quarterback will they select? Bill, are you okay with Sam Darnold as the top overall pick in this draft?
Yeah.
You're fine with this?
I think it's a great pick.
He has adopted a different persona.
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think it's a great pick?
Personally, I just think you look at this guy, his competitive temperament, his 3-sport athlete growing up in high school. He was a linebacker until his junior year. I think his best football is still ahead of him, and he still was 20-4 as a USC starter and lost 2 really good wide receivers, including Juju Smith-Schuster from 2016, and also 3 starting offensive linemen. So it was a tall task to try to live up to all the hype this past year. I just think the way he competes, the clutch gene that he has, and what he brings to the table in terms of intangibles, on top of the ability to extend plays, to me, he's the right pick.
Yeah, the Giants have a lot of needs. That's why it's an interesting pick. So they can go in a lot of different directions here. They have a 37-year-old quarterback in Eli Manning. And if Sam Darnold wasn't the number 1 pick by the Browns, they would probably go in a different direction here. But they could also use an edge rusher like Bradley Chubb out of North Carolina State, or they could use an explosive, dynamic running back like Saquon Barkley from Penn State. You're talking about a guy who's 230 pounds, runs a sub-4 40, and really has that balance and explosiveness that makes him a dynamic player and can add a different element to this offense. So with Dave Gettleman wanting a gold jacket player, as he likes to say, the New York Giants are taking the top player on their board, and that's running back Saquon Barkley from Penn State with the number 2 overall pick.
Jordan, thank you. There were a lot of options here. Of course, the Giants could keep the pick. They could move down. They could opt for a quarterback to eventually start planning for life after Eli Manning. But this time they take the best player on the board, Todd, Bill, Saquon Barkley.
The only way to ensure getting Saquon Barkley was to take him here. Any other trade down scenario would run the risk of losing him, and this is maybe a once-in-a-generation player. So, welcome home to New York. He's from the Bronx originally.
Which Bill Polian loves.
You know Dave Gettleman obviously very well. He worked for you for a long time, 7 years, I believe, with the Buffalo Bills, right? Running back has always been a priority for you. Some people view this as a position not a priority. What are your thoughts on it?
This is a special, special player. When you have a chance to draft a special player, a game changer, you must do it. And this is no different than the Cowboys drafting Ezekiel Elliott. He's going to make everybody on the offense better because everybody on the defense is going to have to defend against him. And unlike Zeke, who was an unfinished product in the passing game, he's the finished product in the passing game.
So it's not hard to figure out what the Jets' strategy is here. It's all about the quarterbacks. That's why they traded 3 second-round picks to move up into this spot. They've been going year to year at quarterback with the Band-Aid approach, and now finally they have a chance to find a long-term answer. They've been scouting these guys very closely for 12 months, building to this moment. It's a tough call here between Josh Rosen and Baker Mayfield, but the difference for the Jets, 3 things. It's accuracy, competitiveness, and winning pedigree. That's why, with the 3rd pick in the ESPN NFL Nation mock draft, the New York Jets select quarterback Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma.
Baker Mayfield, the choice here by the New York Jets. I want to underscore the point that all of our reporters are working these stories. This is who they believe the team is leaning toward. This is what their information leads them to believe. So in this case, Rich Cimini says Baker Mayfield, Bill, for the New York Jets.
Well, there's no question that they need a quarterback. That's obvious. And my question would be, Baker Mayfield, in the winds of the Meadowlands, his arm is not the strongest. And I don't know that he's any more or less competitive than Rosen, although My concern with Rosen would be injuries, and he's injury-free. So.
Yeah, and 47 starts. And you're looking at resume. You have to give the nod. I mean, there's no question, no debating it, to Baker Mayfield from the production standpoint. A two-time walk-on who wound up producing at the very highest level. You're either all in with Baker or you want somebody else to handle him, because that's the sense I get from everyone I talk to in the league.